Welcome to Marshland Histories, the oral history podcast series celebrating life in the Lower Waveney Valley. In this final instalment of the series, I'd like to introduce you to Queenie and the Boy Roy, two semi-fictional characters I've created specially for the last episode. They came about because some of the people I interviewed who had really interesting stories didn't want their voice on the soundtrack, but didn't mind me sharing their actual words. So I turned their accounts into a conversation between two proper old Carlton characters, the sort of people I remember bumping into at the bus stop with my mother when I was a boy. I've had lots of fun drawing these characters and bringing the memories and their special sense of humour to life. All in a proper Suffolk accent, of course. And who better to give voice to Queenie and the Boy Roy than actors Sally Ann Burnett and David Redgrave.
I remember old Jack, who used to work at Meadows Farm. One of his jobs was to clean out the ditches, and he used to say, "You stop doing that, and that old water will flood across the road there."
But that's always flooded down that old road, 'cause it come down the hill, didn't it?
I suppose it do, now you say. But those drains and those ditches not cleared doesn't help.
And that still flood up the road and the street, near the old horse pond. Me and my friend used to play on those railings. If you sat on them, you could fall back and your legs go right through and hit your shoulders.
Oh, I wouldn't try that these days, Queenie.
I don't think I will.
Of course, the last of the proper old Carlton shopkeepers was Jimmy Mitchell.
Oh, James, yeah, he devoted his life to that place. He was there for donkey's years, weren't he?
Half a century, that was.
Everyone knew Jimmy's news agents.
Do you know, he told me after all these years he preferred James to Jimmy, though he never minded Jim.
You knew him from right back, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. He was a good old swimmer. Swam with his dad right from the South Pier to the Claremont.
And he loved his football, Jimmy, didn't he?
Always had a season ticket at Ipswich, through thick and thin. And there were a lot of thin.
Of course, his parents first had a shop in Poplar Road back in the 50s.
That's where James started work as a delivery boy.
He was only little then, weren't he? Couldn't been more than 10-year-old.
Well, must have been in the early 60s, I reckon, when he started delivering on his bike.
Of course, later on they moved to the new shops in Fermona Road, opened up the news agents, and that's where he stayed. Towards the end, he nearly sold his shop, but he couldn't go through with it.
That shop was his life, wasn't it?
Yeah, that doesn't seem right without his shop there. That'll always be Jimmy's to me.
There were a lot of funny old nicknames in Carlton, weren't there, Queenie?
Blast, there were, Boy Roy.
I remember old Bunner Brown. Now, he used to go down the Red House every lunchtime in suit and tie and cap, and always come back a bit merry.
So, why was he called Burnett then?
Well, I don't know. Well, another one was Bibbler. Why was he called Bibbler then?
Don't ask me. I thought you might know.
Well, I did know Bibbler, but you don't think to ask, did you? What about Pigeon then? Pigeon Tuffle. Why was he called Pigeon?
Ah, no, I do know that, Boy Roy.
Do you? So what? Was he a member of the Pigeon Club at the Bell?
No, don't be daft.
Did he walk like a pigeon when he was a young'un?
No, if you're going to be stupid, I won't tell you.
Why was he called Pigeon then?
I'll tell you if you stop running on. You see, when he was born, his father was reading a novel called The Paying Guest, and a character in there was called PG. PG. Paying Guest. Get it? And so, when the baby come home, he got the nickname PG.
Yeah, but that ain't Pigeon though, is it?
No, hang you on. Now, when he started school, they say, "What's your name?" And he say, "PG." But the class thought he say pigeon.
PG. PG. Pigeon. Yeah, I sort of get it.
And that's how he got the name Pigeon.
Well, fancy that. You wouldn't believe it, would you? So what was Pigeon's real name?
I don't know. How am I supposed to know that?
We thought you knew everything, Queenie.
You shut your row and put the kettle on, Boy Roy.
No.
Thanks to Queenie and the Boy Roy. And actually, I asked my mum and she told me that Pigeon's real name was Albert. As you've heard, there are a lot of nicknames in the village, and so for my final poem of the series, I've put them all together into verses, and they even sort of rhyme. And make sure you hang on to the very end for a funny little ditty which David Redgrave recalled, and which we had to record. Just the sort of thing you might have heard at closing time at one of the many local pubs. Thank you for watching Marshland Histories.
Village nicknames.
From Little Titch Carter
To Long John Thrower
Porky Sharp
and Dill Trip
Gassy Cook
and Jimmy Wig, Root Brown
and Snowball Beamish
Pride O'Price
and Old Choy Smith, Bean Bennett,
and Dobby Buxton
Bunner Brown,
and Shorty Thompson, Simple Simon Collins,
Peanut and Curly,
Bolt Donington
and Rhubarb Gurney, Dowie Youngs,
and Razor Turrell
Bibblebun
and Pigeon Tuvell, Lump Soons
and Treacle Ayres
Flash Fisher,
and Clinker Moyes
Old Man Whitler.
and Little Titch Carter
But Long John Thrower was Percy
and Troffin.
and Chucker.
Indicate the way to my abode. I'm fatigued and I want to seek repose. Oh, I had a little bevy 60 minutes ago, and it's gone right to my cranium. Wherever I may perambulate, on land or sea or phosphorating foam, you can always hear me composing this symposium. Indicate the way to my abode.
Time, gentlemen, please.